JavaScript is just another popular language for changing website content, but that being said, it's distinct from both HTML and CSS. Anyone know why you use JavaScript?
So you can have that.
They were so ready to answer it. Philip.
When you don't know how to use HTML, I mean. So that can.
Alright, we'll just wait for a moment and build up the suspense then. I'll tell you two in the slide. Okay, fine.
It's how you do stuff dynamic.
Yes, pretty
Oh
much.
man.
Okay. So that's what it does. It's also not Java, so I apologize for anyone who's taken Java at Wesleyan here. Why are we doing that? Anyway, so JavaScript is what's called a client-side scripting language. That sounds scary. Does anyone want to translate that? Parker?
It's a thing, well, I'm not like 100% sure about it, but I know what JavaScript is, so I'm guessing.
Alright. Disclaimer side.
Like, it's like Java, but it's more of a towards a client side kind of thing. It's on the client side.
Okay, Ben?
I think it runs the code on the client's device instead of on the server.
Yeah, so this is something that runs in your browser, which will become important because not all browsers run it. So it's, like Ben was talking about earlier, it's something that's just sort of an add-on to make web pages more dynamic and more interactive. But it can also make things a lot easier, and we'll talk about some of the uses of it. And it's a scripting language because it's not compiled, if anyone happens to know that. That being said, it does have really similar syntax to Java, despite the fact that it's not Java at all. By any stretch of the imagination, it's not Java. The syntax is just similar. So we already went over that, but a lot of the benefit of it is that you can change the HTML or the CSS without reloading a page. So instead of your browser just handing, well, your browser still just hands the HTML over, but then you're able to make changes, click buttons, do whatever with that without having to reload it. And so that becomes important in what's called form validation. And so that means when you input a value into a form, it tells you like, oh, sorry, that's not a number, please put something in again. And so you want to be able to see, you want to be able to know that before you fill out the entire form, for example, although some people can do that afterwards. And then you can like make your Connect compatible with your browser and stuff like that. So we don't do that, but you can do a lot of other random stuff with JavaScript, which we're not going to cover at all. So look it up.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah.
There are times when JavaScript is not a good thing.
Yeah.
You don't want to overblow your site with JavaScript, particularly if you want it available easily across multiple types of devices like mobile phones and things like that, because most of them, if you have 10,000 lines of JavaScript, you're really going to clog up stuff and it's not going to display well. So that's something you have to keep in mind.
I did.
You can still put JavaScript in one line, don't just make it massive though.
Wouldn't you know?
There's also some other
jQuery
security
is one line.
issues and things with it.
But yeah, the rule of thumb is you don't want to use it such that if someone didn't have it, the website would look good, basically. You want them to be able to get it without JavaScript, but it's just an enhancement. So to use it, you just stick it between two script tags, the opening and closing as usual. And so that can go in the head, the body, or somewhere external. And so just a quick example in maybe the body, for example. So you remember ID, so this is a paragraph with just an ID demo. And a button tag, I haven't taught you the button tag, but I trust you to figure out what it does. And so on click, it'll call this JavaScript function, my function, which we declare within the script tags here. And so this is the syntax. You write the word function, the name of the function, the open parentheses for any arguments or just to show that it's a function, and then two squiggly braces in between it, scary looking things for what actually the function does. So going through it one step at a time, a document just refers to the current HTML document that you're working on, and then get element by ID, you pass in the ID that you're trying to get an element by, in this case demo. So that will just return to you this paragraph tag up here. And then .inner HTML literally refers to this part in the middle, the a paragraph. So so then it's resetting it to say paragraph changed. So then that means this page is going to show you a paragraph and then a button. Once you click the button, those words are going to change to say paragraph changed. People look confused. Should I use different words or explain a different part? Or
Can you just go through it again?
sure. From the beginning with the
Yes.
okay. So you have a paragraph. It's referenced by demo, and then down here, document refers to the current HTML document. And so then get element by ID demo is just how you pick this paragraph to be doing stuff on. And then dot inner HTML, see if I can do some amazing mousing again, refers to this part here. It's inner because it's between these two tags. Does that make sense? And then this is just the assignment operator, if you remember that from comp sci.
Yes.
And so then it's just setting this to be this part right here. So after you click this button, this text will change to say paragraph changed. And it'll make more sense when you play
So
with
does the P refer to paragraph?
it. Yes.
Okay, so that, I can assume that then you can do other IDs, like, line ID or something?
IDs and different tags, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You could do IDs for your buttons, whatever you feel like doing. Anything can have an ID. Just remember that for IDs, each tag has to, there can be anything with the same ID, because then when you say get element by ID, you're gonna get multiple things and it's gonna be connected. Okay? Does that make sense? And then you could also, the only difference is that you would, for the head, you would put the script tags within the head. I'm just gonna stare at you. You put the script tags within the head, and so then that can be called later. The only reason to do that is just so it's separated from everything else, and so people can see it easier and stuff like that. And then external just means you have a separate file that you put it in, and that's important when you want someone else working on the JavaScript for you, or just want even more separation, stuff like that. And so you just put this line in the head of your HTML document to reference that.
Wait, 1 second. What does that do again?
So this is giving you access to any JavaScript functions in the .js file.
Okay.
So we have to add that to the top of our thing?
Only if you have everything declared in a separate file, which in this case you're not going to, because we're doing a couple lines of JavaScript max. So you're going to be using this, but you need to be able to recognize this and maybe use it later. Down the road when you get one. Okay. Does all
I
that
thought
make
you
sense?
said this ran on the client side. Where's that file?
This?
Yeah.
It's pulling it from the server somewhere. You would have to give it a file path if it were somewhere else. You can also reference things from the internet. There's all sorts of libraries and stuff you can use.
So when would I want to use like a script in a separate file instead of in the HTML?
Again, if you want more separation for aesthetic and sanity reasons, but also if it's a separate file, you can have someone else working on it, and that's how you can do collaboration there. Or it could be someone else wrote it entirely, and so you're referencing someone else's connect JavaScript functions that you wouldn't know how to write anyway.
Or about if you have a whole bunch of source files that you want to reference the same JavaScript.
Okay. Everybody good? You better be good, because you have to do it now.
Oh.
Could you go back?
Okay, so make something happen. It can just be as simple as changing a paragraph like I showed, or you can go around on the internet, tackle something more complicated.